Jake Roberts! What is Jake Roberts doing here? Jake the Snake Roberts slithering into the ring! Jake Roberts attacking Sting! And now he's got the chair! Jake Roberts doesn't even wrestle in WCW! What's he doing here? Jake the Snake Roberts! Nailing Sting with a chair! Oh, short clothesline! He caught the Stinger! Oh, my God! Jake the Snake! The master of the DDT! He dropped him on his face! And handed a steel chair with a DDT! Jake the Snake Roberts coming out of nowhere! The DDT around the chair! The Stinger's got to be out of it right here! Not another one! Not another one! Oh! Another DDT! Right on the chair!
This portion of WCW Saturday Night is brought to you by Jolly Rancher Candy, the great taste of fruit squared. We've got a great 2-hour broadcast in the program. We're going to be telling you more about the Beach Blast pay-per-view coming your way on Saturday, June the 20th. Also, we're going to be talking about the Clash of the Champions. Our main event, the Great Muta, will take on Brad Armstrong. And fans, when we come back, it'll be Ron Simmons right after this timeout.
When things get this hot, there's just one way to beat the heat. WCW Beach Blast. The Iron Man challenge is on. Who can go the distance? Ricky the Dragon Steamboat or the totally ravishing Rick Rude? Then Cactus Jack is out to beg World Heavyweight Champion Sting. No ring can hold him. Buff Boggy's Bodacious Babes. WCW Beach Blast. Live Saturday, June 20th. Be there. Only on pay-per-view. Call your local cable operator for availability.
Fans, I want to remind all of you that the Great American Bash starts on Wednesday, July 1st in Macon, July 3rd in Chattanooga, July 4th in Baltimore at the Arena, and July 5th in Atlanta in the Omni. It's going to be Georgia Power Safety Night in the Omni. More on that in the hour as Bob Hook attempts to gain the early advantage on one of the hottest, most powerful competitors in WCW.
Oh!
Timmons, what an athlete. He has made his intentions perfectly clear. His next step will be towards the WCW Heavyweight Championship of the World. But before he can take that step, he's got a big hurdle to overcome in the form of the Super Invader.
And let's not forget about Harley Race. Harley Race, 7 times champion and a very devious mind. They said there would be another time. I was shocked at what happened at the Clash of Champions.
Simmons from Warner Robins, Georgia. 3-time football All-American at Florida State University. And we'll be a part of the big event, as I said, in the Omni.
Bad move.
What, has Cook got a death wish or something?
Bad move.
Well, 275.
Athletically inclined, man. I mean,
gets up.
The elevation. It goes from his days at Florida State, All-American on defense, and Harley Race and Super Invader found out you don't step to run, do you?
Indeed, you're right about that. This guy is one that cannot be intimidated. Simmons, 275. So much power, but as Michael Hayes pointed out, ladies and gentlemen, this man has got great agility for someone his size.
Now, you've got to wonder if he got through the Super Invader and Sting was able to retain his title, which I don't think he will against Big Van Vader. What a matchup between Sting and Ron Simmons.
That would be a tremendous matchup. I'll tell you something. A lot of people think that Big Van Vader's going to beat Sting.
I do.
On July the 12th. Lateral press. Tomorrow on the main event here on TBS, the fabulous Freebirds put the U.S. tag titles on the line against young Marcus Alexander Bagwell and the Z-Man. And plus, we've just found out, Michael Hayes, that Fly-In Brian will go with Tracy Smothers one-on-one right here on TBS tomorrow, 6:05 Eastern Time.
Well, you know, that probably ain't quick enough for them to, and there it is. Arn Anderson is a man possessed. He is really ticked off because whether it's the championship committee or Sting's people, it's a big insult to injury that they don't give. They got a match and it's not a title match. I mean, what kind of qualifications do you have to get a title match?
Arn Anderson has signed to go one-on-one with Sting, but much to Anderson's chagrin, it is not a title matchup. We'll talk about that.
Sidewalk slam!
He nailed him with it, and it's over.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's your winner, the All-American, Ron Simmons!
We'll take another look at one of the hottest properties in WCW right here.
Here it is, Jimmy. Hoists him up for that sidewalk slam, puts him right down on his back. You don't step to Ron Simmons and look out, Super Invader.
Now it's available, the full menu WCW Wrestling Hotline. The same action number with more fun choices. Hear exclusive updates. Play Become a Matchmaker. Listen in on special events. The hotline explodes with fun. The WCW Hotline, 1-900-909-9900. The price is 99 cents per minute to try all the fun choices. The total charge is dependent upon actual use. Kids, get your parents okay before making this call. The WCW Hotline, the new interactive champion.
Welcome back to TBS, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Jake the Snake Roberts. 7 days ago in the Baltimore Arena, you returned to assault Sting. And I know, let's just cut right to the chase. You and I have known each other a long, long time. Why did you do it?
You don't know me that well. But I will say this. Why did I do it? Why not? Why not? If you want to get someone's attention, do I go out and slap the ring boy that takes the jackets back? Do I slap the referee? No. I step right up to the big gun, the one that the WCW has idolized, and jerk a knot in him. That's what you do. If you want to get somebody's attention, go to the front of the line, man. Slap the guy up front. And Sting, you were the guy up front.
Yesterday on WCW Saturday Night, Cowboy Bill Watts seemed perhaps a little perplexed because you officially do not wrestle for WCW, but they're investigating this whole situation. Charges could be filed.
Well, I'm sure that's what Sting's thinking about right now. That would be the smart thing for you to do, Sting. Have me charged with assault. Let the police arrest me. Don't you take it on your own to think you're man enough for one moment to step up and take care of this business. Now, if WCW wants to do something about this, they can charge me with assault, or you can get out that paper and put the right number down, and I can sign that paper. But Sting, here's what I'm telling you, the smart thing for you to do, and all I'm asking from you is this one thing. Quit. Quit while the quitting's good, because if you step up in front of me, man, I'm not afraid to pull that trigger. I'm not afraid to kick that box out from under you, man. That's exactly what I'll do.
Fans, we're just about out of time here, but we'll be speaking more with Jake the Snake Roberts tonight at 9 o'clock on AM 750 WSB, and we'll be taking some calls from, I'm sure, some Sting fans tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is set for one fall. Introducing first to the combined weight of 529 pounds. From Detroit, Michigan, they're the WCW World Tag Team Champions and the newly crowned IWGP Champions, Rick and Scott Steiner, the Steiner Brothers. In the ring, our opponents wearing a combined weight of 475 pounds. First from Dallas, Texas, Randy Starr. And representing the State Patrol, Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker.
Great ovation for the Steiner Brothers here, ladies and gentlemen, on WCW Saturday Night. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Ron Simmons, the Steiner Brothers will defend the WCW World Tag Team titles against Dr. Death Steve Williams and Terry Bam Bam Gordy. We talked about Florida State. To me, this is the equivalent in wrestling tomorrow night. What a rivalry.
And that's exactly what it's going to be. Like the Steiner Brothers have got something to prove. Doc and Gordy coming in there, eliminating them out the tag team tournament. And believe me, tomorrow night in the Omni, it is going to be one of the shows that I want to stay there. I'm going to be involved in, but more than likely, I want to stay there and see the show between Dr. Death and the Steiner Brothers and Terry Bam Bam Gordy.
It's going to be a great athletic contest between those two great teams. Steiner Brothers, as you heard at the top of the program, just a few days ago, won the IWGP Tag Team Championship in Tokyo, the Budokan, for the second time. We got a tremendous crowd here at center stage. And Ron, you've been in the ring with the Steiner Brothers. Can you compare them to any other team?
Yes, I've been in the ring with them on many occasions. And believe me, if I hadn't been at my best, hey, I don't think of any other way of coming out of there other than bruised up and beat up, because those two guys have one thing in mind, that's to get in there and to come out winners. can just see the intensity that the Steiner Brothers are using here. I don't think they can wait to get their hands on Bam Bam Gordy and Dr. Dan Steve Williams and Omni. Believe me, that is going to be a matchup you can't miss.
Good seat still available. Scott Steiner and his brother Rick, great athletes from the University of Michigan. We've documented their background so many times on this broadcast. Irish whip. Sergeant Parker gets a tag from his battered partner. Oh, it's Parker and Rick Steiner in there. Sends him for the ride. And we'll be back here this Monday night at 7 o'clock. Scotty in. Caught him. Tilt-over. And Scotty now. Something. It's going to be the Frankensteiner. He's up. And he got it. And Scotty.
He had to go to Disneyland to get into free rides this time, did he?
Here are the winners, Rick and Scott Steiner, the Steiner Brothers.
What a battle it will be in the Omni. That'll be tomorrow night, 7:30. Tremendous impact, Ron Simmons.
Oh, man. You can feel it almost when you can hit a thud. Just look at this. What a joke.
And we'll be right back.
Here's the WCW Top 10 rankings for singles competition. The week ending June 27th and 28th, 1992. As always, the rankings are compiled by the WCW Executive Committee based on weekly win-loss records and promoter voting worldwide. The number 10 ranked contender this week, the natural Dustin Rhodes. In at number 9, down one notch, the Russian Nightmare Nikita Koloff. Moving up 2 spots from last week, and at number 8, the All-American Ron Simmons. Barry Windham is down to number 7 this week. The number 6 ranked contender, Cactus Jack, continuing to move up the rankings. This week he's number 5, is the enforcer, Arn Anderson. The number 4 ranked contender, the World TV Champ, Stunning Steve Austin. In at number 3, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. The number 2 ranked contender at 450 pounds, Big Van Vader. The number 1 ranked contender, U.S. Champ, Ravishing Rick Rude. And the World Champion is Sting.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is set for one fall. Introducing first, 123 kilos, originally from Lithuania, now residing in the United States of America, Nikita Koloff. In the ring, his opponent from Cheyenne, Wyoming, weighing in at 230 pounds, young pistol Tracy.
I can tell you one thing, they'll get the opportunity to settle their situation. They're in Georgia Power Safety Night. It's that man, Nikita Koloff, in this contest against an outstanding athlete and young pistol Tracy Smothers. And Smothers, I talked with him earlier today. He was geared up, very confident that he could score an upset here against Nikita Koloff. Koloff, a tremendously powerful athlete. Fans, don't forget to call the wrestling hotline. We got some big news until midnight tonight on the hotline. I think you're really going to be interested in. Side headlock takeover. And Smothers takes him down. Irish whip. And look at the martial arts kick by Tracy Smothers, the former Carson Newman footballer from up in Tennessee, with a great athletic move there. Good counter move. And Koloff back up. Double axe handle right to the spine. Smothers trying to use his quickness and technique. Smothers is an excellent athlete. And as I said, he had a lot of confidence going into this contest. I can tell you that Nikita Koloff reveres the United States title even more. It may be hard to believe for a lot of fans that don't know Nikita, but he reveres the U.S. title more than he does the world title. As hard as it may sound to believe to be, and I tell you why, fans, quite simply, if you knew his childhood and what he went through in Lithuania, now that their country has freedom, he looks at the U.S. title as a symbol of freedom, and that is so dear to this man. And many of us that have had the privilege of growing up here in the United States really don't know what it's like to live through the intimidation and government rule that he did in Lithuania. Now residing in the United States, he really wants that U.S. title for that reason. It signifies freedom for this man. He's had it before. Fans, remember that Tony Schiavone and Magnum TA have got a power-packed hour for you here on TBS tomorrow night, 5:05 Central Time, 6:05 Eastern. for the WCW main event. Now wrecking Koloff's eyes. Smothers perhaps finding he could not out-wrestle Koloff. Now breaking some rules. Fans, don't forget the latest edition of WCW Magazine is on the newsstands now. Sting on the cover. A lot of guys coming after the Stinger. Ravishing Rick Rude, Arn Anderson, Big Van Vader, and Sting, of course, will meet Cactus Jack at Beach Blast in a match where falls will count anywhere. That means anywhere, in the building, outside the building, on the beach, wherever it may be. Koloff likes to use the power moves, control the tempo, and he's an outstanding mat wrestler. But one thing's for sure, when he's vertical and he has the opportunity to execute the sickle, any opponent has got to beware. And here he comes with a sickle. The sickle. He caught it, and he got all of it. He hooks a leg, and it's over.
Here is your winner, Nikita Koloff.
Koloff, the great power wrestler. So dominant.
The all-new Power Hour is your first choice for Saturday morning wrestling with new features, updates, and a recap of the week. Join us next Saturday. Missy Hyatt talks about the young stars in WCW. Teddy Long profiles heavy metal Van Hammer. Saturday, 9:05 Eastern on TBS.
Great ovation for the popular youngster from Marietta, Georgia, Marcus Alexander Bagwell. Fans, don't forget the big one in the Omni. 1 week from tomorrow night, 7:30. Tickets on sale at all Ticketmaster locations. 2 championship matches, the big 20-man battle royal for our fans in Atlanta. We'll have more on that event just a little bit later in this hour as we go back up to Gary Michael Capetta.
Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, representing the Dangerous Alliance, he is being led by the First Lady of WCW, Medusa, from Minnesota, weighing 248 pounds, the Enforcer, Arn Anderson.
I don't know if you can read his lips or not, but he said, "I love pretty boys." Well, Bagwell's certainly a handsome young man, but he cannot be taken for granted, that's for sure. This youngster has really impressed a lot of us here in the media with his effort, his drive and determination, but he has his work cut out for him here. I want to say hi to our fans down in Columbus, Georgia, WCW there tomorrow, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Hope you fans can be with us there. You know that Bagwell, he's got to be very anxious to get it on. And Bagwell, lateral press. Got Anderson off balance. I think Anderson somewhat surprised at the agility of the young man. Anderson family, one of just nothing but toughness. Nice takedown. But look at the toughness of Bagwell. Anderson, the master of so many great maneuvers. But his spine buster slam is one that has certainly brought him many, many victories. Remember, everyone, still to come, sensational Brad Armstrong to challenge the Great Muta. Should be an outstanding matchup, plus we'll have another feature. Oh, my. Taking the kid right around the ring post. Anderson, one of the most technically sound competitors ever to compete in the game. As you heard, has made it clear to the world that it's time for him to step up, to separate himself from perhaps tag team wrestling, and to look at one thing and one thing only, and that is to become the heavyweight champion of the world. There is no doubt in my mind that this man doesn't have the athletic ability to be the world's heavyweight champion. He is that good. We hope all you fans in the Atlanta area, if you're going to be in Atlanta this Monday or Tuesday, can join us at Center Stage for our big national television taping of WCW Saturday Night. We'll kick it off on Monday and Tuesday this week at 7 o'clock. We're just about a block from the Arts Center MARTA station, and tickets for the TV taping are free. But right there, he had him weakened. He caught him in a waistlock, spine buster, and fans, it is over.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, the Enforcer, Arn Anderson.
Well, fans, whether it's a television championship of the world or the world's heavyweight title, never discount that athlete. He is as good as they come, I can assure you. You saw as perfectly a technical wrestle match as you'll ever see. The Spine Buster. Anderson, very, very devastating here. And fans will be back with Ricky Rackman and our WCW magazine next.
It's time to take a look at the lineup coming your way at Beach Blast Saturday, June 20th, only on pay-per-view. The United States Heavyweight Champion Ravishing Rick Rude and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat in the 30-minute Iron Man Challenge. Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and Terry Bam Bam Gordy challenge the Steiner Brothers for the WCW World Tag Team titles. Nikita Koloff, Dustin Rhodes, and Barry Windham team up to take on Arn Anderson, Stunning Steve Austin, and Beautiful Bobby Eaton in six-man tag team action. And the match where pinfalls count anywhere on the Gulf Coast. Cactus Jack faces the WCW World's Heavyweight Champion Sting. Marcus Alexander Bagwell goes after the veteran Greg Valentine. Three-time All-American Ron Simmons faces a tailor-made man, and the WCW World Light Heavyweight title on the line as Scotty Flamingo challenges Lion Brian Pillman. And don't forget about the Duel in the Sun, the bikini contest between Medusa and Missy Hyatt that will determine the real First Lady of WCW. Don't be left out. The best seat in the house is just a phone call away. Contact your local cable operator. Tell them you want to be a part of all the action.
Introducing first, from Marietta, Georgia, he weighs 234 pounds, Brad Armstrong.
Brad Armstrong has a great deal of international experience. This will not be the first time that he has taken on the Great Muta. Should be an outstanding matchup. And let's go back up to ring announcer Gary Capetta.
And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent from the land of the rising sun, Tokyo, Japan, welcome the Great Muta.
The Great Muta, one of the most popular athletes, Ricky, in Japan, meeting a chorus of mixed reaction here in the studio.
I think it's going to be wild. I don't think Brad really knows what he's got in store for him.
When things get this hot, there's just one way to beat the heat. WCW Beach Blast. The Iron Man Challenge is on. Who can go the distance? Ricky the Dragon Steamboat or the totally ravishing Rick Rude? Then Cactus Jack is out to beg World Heavyweight Champion Sting. No ring can hold him. Buff Bodies, Bodacious Babes. WCW Beach Blast. Live Saturday, June 20th. Be there. Only on pay-per-view. Call your local cable operator for availability.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to WCW Saturday Night. Jim Ross and Ricky Rackman of MTV back with you. Fans, don't forget, we're counting the days. Two big events coming in June that we want to remind you of. The Clash of the Champions, it'll be live here on TBS. The first round of the NWA World Tag Team Championship Tournament. And then, as you heard last week, the entire lineup for Beach Blast pay-per-view on Saturday, June the 20th. It'll be Brad Armstrong, who may want to try to wrestle a mat wrestling game here because the Great Muta is one of the great flyers in the sport.
And obviously someone with a lot of martial arts training, which is going to be real tough for Brad.
So let's keep our fingers crossed that this match will be a scientific match in its duration. Great Muta and Sting have become good friends. They were teammates at the second annual WCW Japan Super Show, and they took on the Steiner Brothers.
I think if you got two fighters right now that both have a lot of respect for each other, it's going to be a good, clean fight, I think. Brad Armstrong looks like the great LA Kings hockey player, Marty McSorley. I don't know if you've ever seen him. Looks just like Brad.
And Muta with the advantage. That's that quick, nice takeover. Fans, while we have the opportunity, don't forget to join Tony Schiavone and Magnum TA tomorrow here on TBS for the main event. We've got a very special broadcast. It's a 2-hour special. Such matches as Ricky Steamboat and Cactus Jack, Dustin Rhodes and Beautiful Bobby, Ron Simmons, and Greg the Hammer Valentine, plus Nikita Koloff and Big Van Vader. Some of the great action you'll see with Tony and Magnum tomorrow on the main event. Brad, second-generation wrestler, originally from Marietta, Georgia. Nice counter by Armstrong. You know, it's much like when we talked earlier to Arn Anderson about Sting and the sixth man, the fans, in essence. When you're on the mat, there's not a whole heck of a lot to cheer for, and I think that's going to be Anderson's modus operandi when he does meet Sting if that match is signed.
Right. You could hear that when everybody started cheering for USA, it definitely gave Armstrong a little extra boost.
Both these men are extremely, extremely quick, and when we talked about Muta's aerial abilities, we certainly did not mean to discount Brad Armstrong's aerial abilities because he's got as great a drop kick as anyone in the sport. As we mentioned, Armstrong has a great deal of international experience and a lateral press. Armstrong going for the cover. He's one of the great light heavyweights here in WCW. A lot of pressure applied by Brad Armstrong. We've seen him in some tremendous battles in the last few months in the WCW light heavyweight division. These men have so much respect for each other. They're actually being very cautious. Neither man really wants to make a fatal mistake.
One of the things that's so great about this WCW match is that both of them are so skilled. They're both very intelligent, and it's, you know, kind of combining like the very meticulous art watching both of these wrestlers.
A lot of strategy being used by both athletes. They have so many similar characteristics. They like to take chances offensively, but thus far that has not occurred. Nice move.
He's tossing Mr. Armstrong around now.
Hooks the leg, could be all, and Armstrong kicked out at 2. Irish whip. And handspring, elbow into the solar plexus. Armstrong is in a lot of trouble.
See, I'll tell you, Jim, I don't know how you defend yourself against a move like that when the Great Muta is just moving all around.
Very quick, there's the martial arts. Almost a figure 4-like position for Muta. Fans, don't forget tomorrow, the main event, Tony Schiavone and Magnum TA will be with you. Missy Hyatt will be along. We'll have a special interview on that broadcast. Eric Bischoff will be there with the WCW magazine and more information on the NWA World Tag. Can he hold him now? He got 2.5, maybe more that time on the NWA World Tag Tournament and on Beach Blast. A big 2-hour special right here on TBS tomorrow, beginning at 6:05 Eastern Time, 5:05 Central. And if you're in Los Angeles, where Ricky Rackman lives, it'll be on at 3:05. Muta with that spinning martial arts kick, catching Armstrong in the ribs.
One of those martial arts moves that gives the Great Muta such an advantage, but still Brad, I mean, it looks like, you know, from Brad fighting in Japan that he's got a lot of moves from there too.
He's really learned a lot competing there, and Muta now with the martial arts. Muta's martial arts have been rather silent since the early going, Ricky.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. I mean, I've seen this man fight before, and he's got so many other moves that he hasn't even used tonight.
Emotion of this matchup here on national television taking his toll.
I think we're going to see a lot more movement out of Muta right now. I mean, I think he's been kind of holding back, and there's just so many things that this man can do that we haven't even seen yet.
Muta, as we said, has wrestled Armstrong before. We talked about that Brad's best opportunity to beat that man might be to mat wrestle him, and perhaps Muta feels the same about Brad.
You can't let Muta go. If Brad just keeps on hold of him and, you know, tries to wrestle him rather than let Muta up where he can do his kicks or his flips or, you know, whatever those things that he does are.
Cross body.
Beautiful.
He may have it and got 2. And nowhere else will you see this competitive a situation with this type of endurance than right here in WCW. Just nothing like seeing it live as it happens. Neither man really been able to gain any sustained offensive advantage. Tremendous forearm there. Reminiscent of the legendary Dory Funk Jr. His forearms, he could really nail you with them. Quick lateral movement, takeover, and a near fall. Great movement by Armstrong. I mean, Armstrong right out almost in the lap of our cameraman. And another near fall situation. We've had many 2 counts in this matchup. Don't forget, fans, we've got a lot of big news for you. As you heard about earlier in the program on the Wrestling Hotline until midnight, this is the type of intense competition the fans will see in Baltimore tonight, tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock in Columbus, Georgia. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, we'll be back here at Center Stage this Monday and Tuesday. Irish whip. Elevation. These two young men, tremendous roundhouse kick there. And Muta could not avoid that maneuver. Muta will take more chances if given the opportunity. Nice suplex. Armstrong in trouble now. Oh, standing drop kick. Muta seems to be gaining his second win. Muta may have the upper hand here. Let's see if he can capitalize. And Muta goes down. Tremendous impact, and you can... Oh, he caught him! Great counter there. Muta with the advantage. You hear the smacking of the flesh there. They're both men on the vertical base, trying to gain an advantage. Muta fights back. Middling, there's a power drive elbow. Here comes the moonsault. Could it be it is? Oh. The moonsault, and he hit it.
And there for the match, the Great Muta.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Great Muta wins it here on WCW Saturday Night. We'll go back and take another look. And then watch this power drive elbow. And then his patented, breathtaking moonsault. What a phenomenal move. Sheer perfection. The Great Muta is the winner here on TBS. Fans, don't forget to join Ricky on the Headbangers Ball every Saturday night at 11 on MTV. Remember, 2-hour special tomorrow with Tony Schiavone and Magnum TA on the main event. And we've got big news for you on the Wrestling Hotline until midnight tonight. For Ricky Rackman, all the great fans here in Atlanta, Gary Michael Capetta, I'm Jim Ross saying so long, everybody.